And since this is a tutorial, feel free to ask any questions in either the comments or message me on Twitch or in the chat if you happen to be watching along. Alright, just in case you haven't watched my tutorial on KotOR 1, I'll make sure to mention that we play on easy. That makes it to where you take a little bit less damage and the enemies have less of a chance of, I think, doing things like stunning you. So you want to make sure that that's set to easy. Keep auto level up off. Auto save is good because this game can crash, and you'll want combat movement on. So for key mapping, I'll mention a few things that are important. Make sure you have a good setup for movement that you can run around reliably. Select next and previous used to be important, but I don't believe that they're used anymore. I'll point them out if I happen to start using them, though. The default action is a pretty good thing to use and know where it is. It just does the action that would happen if you just started clicking on whatever object or person that you happen to be targeting. I like to move activate medical item to somewhere closer to where my movement keys are, just so I can go ahead and use healing when I'm all alone. The party select screen is something new to KotOR 2 that was not a key binding in KotOR 1, and we make use of that quite a bit. Map screen is good to have handy. So is the character screen and the equipment screen. Those two are pretty important because we're going to be leveling up a lot and equipping items and weapons. Hey Build, welcome to the stream. Solo mode is also important to have. You'll also want to have change leader set to something that you can switch, so that you can switch who your leader is without having to click it on the screen. That is very important to one of the glitches. Alright, I think that's all of the important key bindings. I don't think there's anything else to set. Oh yeah, you pretty much want to turn off most of the feedback options. These three don't actually slow down the game, so leave them on. You can turn off all the others though. Auto pause, you don't want auto pause. Alright, so to start out the game, we start out as a Jedi, but we don't get any force powers, unfortunately. So we're going to start out as a Jedi Guardian. The portrait doesn't really matter, so let's pick... yeah, we'll go with him. And for the attributes, you want to go similar to what we had last time. I actually think it's just about the same. 18, 14, 14. You can kind of move a little bit of this around. As long as you have 18 in strength and 14 in dexterity, you're probably going to be good. 12 is about as low as I'd go in constitution, just in case you want more wisdom. I think I'll do that. For skills, just put all 4 in to treat injury. And feats, we already have flurry, and we're not going to be doing 2-weapon fighting this time. We're going to be doing dueling. And now we get to choose our name. Once again, we want to play as a male just because it saves a little bit of time. About, I think it's 30 seconds between the cutscenes that you have to see and extra walking that you had to do as a female, actually. Alright, so timing starts when we hit play, just like last time. Thank you, Unwary. we don't have to do a save buffer at the very beginning, because we start out as T3. So you can go ahead and use the left mouse button to click through this text. Actually, you can just mash all the way through that, because you want to continue the prologue for just a little bit. So go down the hallway, go in here, grab the computer spike in the plasteel cylinder, and then go to communications console. Do 1 and then 1 and 1, just mash through that one to open this door right here. Then we want to bash open this footlocker. After the first strike, I usually like to go over here and grab the parts, and then go back and bash open the rest of the footlocker. After this, we're going to grab what's inside and leave.
Sometimes bashing or blowing open a container will break some of the...
Alright, so why did we do that? Well, that gives us 2 computer spikes and 1 part. This will come in handy later on. Go ahead and skip the prologue, that's 2. I usually wait until the screen fades out to split, but either way works. Those computer spikes and 1 part will actually help us skip a little bit of backtracking, which is not really backtracking because you haven't gone that way before, but it would be backtracking because you have to go one way and then back. And what do you get for going that way in the first place? Computer spikes. So if we already have those, or actually computer spikes and parts, but if we already have those, we can just complete what we wanted to do in the first place. Alright, so go on down the front hallway, go down to the left rune, and interact with the medical computer. Sequence is going to be 4, 3, and then 6. And walk all the way over here. Now, we're going to do something interesting right here. We're going to do a save buffer right after we loot this corpse. So, get the items and start save buffering. You can also start walking in the other direction to save a little bit of time later. So, for that one you actually have to wait a little while to actually get the proper save buffer, because after you loot the corpse, the game fades out to black, and then the cutscene starts. So you have to wait until the game would have faded out to black and started the cutscene before you start loading again. But that skips Krea's cutscene, where she talks to you for the first time, and that will actually allow us to skip every single vision that we would get from Krea from then on, from here on out. So now we go over here to the damaged door and equip the plasma torch. You can actually equip it on either side and it'll go to the right place. And hope you don't miss, because that's going to be a big pain. Alright, go down the left and continue down this long corridor, opening the doors on the way. Comms center was... oh yeah, the comms center wasn't ever used in the first game. It's just where T3 liked to stand. Right here, I like to go over to this security locker and bash it open, so I can get some ion grenades. It doesn't really help. I mean, it doesn't take too much time to... I don't think it really saves any time, but I can use those grenades to prevent something quirky from happening later. So when you open this door and walk a little bit forward, hey Letters, how you doing? It's going pretty well. When you open the door and the game starts to fade out, if you hold both mouse buttons, you'll keep walking while the game fades out. And also, if you just put your cursor over the door and keep clicking, then eventually during the fade out, when you can't see anything, you'll actually go up and open the door. I didn't do that because I was explaining something. So, we open the door, and we see these guys. Target the middle one and throw an ion grenade to destroy all three of them. The only reason I do that is because those guys can collect at a junction, either this door or that door, or even around the footlocker over there. And after we go up to this computer over here, they'll be passive, so we can't actually fight them anymore. So you have to talk to them and explicitly destroy them. That takes a little bit more time, so I like to actually go in and use a grenade to clear them out first. So go and use the computer and just mash through the text. You'll level up, and then go ahead and use your skills and put the feat in. I even forget what we put it in. Toughness, that's right. And then grab, of course, Burst of Speed. Go ahead and use it. Now we're going to go back here and talk to Atton. Since we skipped Krea's cutscene, we don't get the vision about Atton before we approach.
Nice outfit. What, you miners change?
Alright, so the sequence is going to be 5, and then 1 8 times. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then 2, 1, 3, and then just spam. That's true. It is slower if you don't get blocked, but you also have to use ion grenades later on anyway. So this way you can kind of save a little bit of cash as well. I'm not sure if it really helps overall anyway, because I think I pick up those... Oh wait, there's one place where you can use this extra ion grenade later, so you can use it to your advantage. It's just, you might forget, like I do. So after talking to Atton, after you do that sequence, just keep mashing through both the rest of that dialogue and the next dialogue. Then go up to the computer and I think you had to slice it, I don't remember. Then choose Access Comms, and then Hangar Bay. Can you read me, and just mash through the dialogue. Right here, you're going to switch to T3. And this is why we did the first bit of the prologue. So that we can come over here, open the door. We could do that already. And then go up to this computer. Hey Lanstus, welcome back. And replace the missing part, which we wouldn't have been able to do if we hadn't gone there. So the sequence for this entire thing is 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. And if you look, that used up 1 part and 1 computer spike. Yep, you're not too late. Only a few minutes in. So we're going to go down the path that we just opened up, and then quickly move away from using T3. But this way we don't actually have to go where we spawned. You would usually have to go in here and then down 1 level, and then go through that area to get extra parts and computer spikes. This way we don't have to. Hey, Peragus. Glad you can make it. Alright, so get to this computer and do the sequence 312. 312. There's another interesting point that could save a little bit of time over the course of the entire run. For this conversation, just mash through. And then you're going to use your force speed and just keep running back the way you came. Hey, Regiers. Welcome. But what I was saying was... You can't hear me? Oh, maybe it's just that you don't have your mic on. When the game is fading in like this, like that at the beginning right there, from a load, you can't move using the keyboard movements, but you can move using mouse movements, so holding down left and right mouse button. So in KotOR 1 you could move during that loading in phase using either the keyboard or mouse, but in this game you have to use the mouse. So that's just one thing to note.
Can you read me?
Just say 4 and he won't bother you for the rest, almost the rest of the underground. Loot this cylinder and the droid. Go to open the door and then open up your equipment. Put on the mining uniform, the survey gear. That doesn't matter. The Telos mining shield is mainly the other thing that you want. So then you go over to your inventory and then double click on the mining shield that you equipped to use it. That's another use of double clicking on something in your inventory to activate it. It saves a little bit of time each time you do that because you don't have to wait for your character to play out the entire animation of turning it on. Alright, so our next goal is, along the way, is to find an adrenal alacrity. That's why I looted that guy, but I didn't find one. It would show up in here. Alacrity stems will help us move faster, and moving faster is the name of the game. Droid won't have one. Hopefully those guys don't get in your way. No, this does not have M478 or whatever it's called. Hey, there we go. Adrenal alacrity. So we're going to save that alacrity for later. So now we want to interact with the central controller and do 2, 1, and then 2. If you hadn't gotten an alacrity by now, you may want to try opening this plasteel cylinder. It may have one inside. Maybe not, like that time. Alright, so here I'm going... I got lucky here. The droid moved out of the way before I got here. If you get to about this point, right behind this pillar right here, before the droid moves out of the way, then you can kind of step where I am and then move back pretty quickly. So you try to lure him away from just standing there or just shooting at you, so that you can walk around him instead of having to walk up to him and push him out of the way. When Atton contacts you, you can just mash through that dialogue. Also loot this corpse. You can have some stems on him. And then go through the turbo lift. Yeah, we don't run KotOR 2 with these, what is it called? Restoration patch? Yeah. The Sith Lord's Restoration Project mod, whatever it's called. Alright, so keep clicking to mash through this dialogue as quickly as possible, but don't mash enter, because you need to give a specific sequence. It's going to be 5, 1, 2, and then I think it's 9 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yep. And then 2 again, and then I think 13 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, nope. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, okay, 19 ones. And then 2. That gives us a lot of light side points. I think, well, it's a good bit of light side points, and you need those for the run. So again, that sequence is 5, 1, 2, then 9 ones in a row, then 2, and then 19 ones, and then another 2. Alright, loot this guy's corpse down here. He might have a stem on him that could be useful. Go ahead and use force speed again and run this way. The reason why you want to get a stem, an alacrity stem specifically, is because by this point you're usually not going to have half force. That last force push, or force speed that we just did would have taken you down to about 0. So you're going to want to use the stem once we go out the next door. Go to the maintenance station in this room and then just destroy it. That's 6, and then walk away. you can click through that cutscene and then go out this way. Once you reach this door, go ahead and turn on the alacrity. Oh yeah, that's one thing I should mention. Sometimes doors and like hallways where they have seams will actually catch on your character so that it looks like you're running into an invisible wall, but there's an open door there. The way to get around that is just move back and then move forward again. Open the storage locker and then head on outside. Alright, and now, remember the spacewalk from KotOR 1? Well, this is the only spacewalk we have to do, and it's a lot faster. Kind of wish that there were more of these, because this is about as fast as you run in the game. Alright, so about at this second bend up here, we're going to do a... across the second bend, we're going to do a save buffer. Once again, when you notice that it's no longer fading in from black, like there, you can start loading. That will skip a cutscene where Atton over there talks to you and this thing shows up. This thing takes a minute. So that's a minute long cutscene skip there. Then we go continue down the walkway. And head on out. Yeah, that is so true, build. By this time you should have enough for another burst of speed, so go ahead and use it when you right after opening that door. You don't have to loot any of the corpses either. I don't think so. Sometimes it's useful because you can get some extra money. But all the stores are quite random in this game, the items they have, so there's never really a dependable way to get really good items. I like to loot this one, but you had to click twice for it because you had a data pad. And then I loot Korta and this corpse over here, and then click on the door and use 3 to bash it, but sometimes it does that and it doesn't do anything. So what I do is cancel the combat, which is I have hotkey to F, then try it again. That time it worked. So if it doesn't do it the first time, just try it again. Alright, for this conversation you can just mash through it.
We need to make our way to the docking area on this level. I fear
Use burst of speed either as yourself or as Kreia. And then switch to Kreia and loot this corpse to get a vibroblade and keep running. Yeah, that's right, Newman. Another tutorial. I think this is the first time I've done a tutorial for KotOR 2. Which means I probably should have done a short... Oh, man, I got unlucky there. Usually your character will find a way around these droids, but this time he didn't. Well, never mind. I'll just switch... Okay, so there is no way around that guy. So since Kreia got on the other side, I'll just keep going as her. He'll eventually teleport to me. Otherwise, you can talk to the droid and tell it to destroy itself or shut down or something like that. Alright, so I'm going to switch this to Kreia simply because she's here. Otherwise, you would use your own character to open the footlocker. And then loot this chest because this has ion grenades. Very useful. And run in here. Well, usually by now that would have happened, but since my character got stuck,
What in space is
I
going?
had to wait for him to realize what was going on.
We have a clear run to the ship.
Go ahead and mash through that, and then once we get through this unskippable bit of dialogue, we're going to say 3, 4. That's the sequence. 3, 4. CNC Renegade last time. Oh, really? Someone did a run of Renegade. That's awesome. It's actually a pretty interesting game. From the very little bit that I played. Alright, so at the beginning of this fight, you'll want to pause and then go into the equipment, switch out your plasma torch for the vibroblade, and give Kreia the plasma torch. I already did that, but that was just because the game did something weird. Then switch over to Atton, target the assassination droid, and use an ion grenade and sniper shot. Switch over to your main character, use an ion grenade and flurry on the assassin droid again, and then switch over to Kreia, cancel combat, unpause and turn on solo mode. Use force speed and then run down this hallway back here. Alright, so the docking bay door has opened, which means that the HK droid is now in his self-destruct sequence. You want to let these guys, let your character and Atton take him on. After he blows up, loot his corpse, and then switch back to Kreia and go ahead onto the Harbinger. Now here we're gonna turn on solo mode again. Switch to your main character, run towards the bridge, and then mash through this conversation. Run to the nav computer, and then use 112. That's 112. Switch back to Kreia. Actually, you're supposed to use a burst of speed, and then switch back to Kreia, and bash open that door. Since you and Kreia share a force link, any force powers you activate, as long as you're within a certain distance, I think, will be activated on Kreia as well. So since you have that, you can kind of use Kreia and yourself to an advantage. So there we use force speed on your main character so that Kreia gets it even though she's far away, and force speed is not a party power. So go ahead and walk down that hallway and mash through that conversation, turn on solo mode, and loot this footlocker. It gives us a armband that'll be useful. Switch back to Kreia, and we're gonna just run through this the rest of this level. We go to the left so that we can run through the medical facility, and then go down the elevator. Sorry, turbo lift. Alright. There's a cutscene at the start of this, which is fine because you don't want to skip it. But we do want to skip this one. The reason that I did that full cycle is because usually after that cutscene I can't move my character at all. But if I cycle to any other person, then I can move him. It's just really weird. I don't know if it's just mine or if it's everyone's. Alright, so when we're walking down this hallway after we open this door, we want to start a save buffer. Maybe about at this second blue line on the walls. We're just going to be walking straight though, so not towards the wall, just at about that line. Or before it. So once you see that the game is no longer fading in from black, go ahead and load. And this skips Scion's entrance back there. There he is, hiding away.
Yes.
Switch back to Kreia and turn on solo mode. There's going to be a lot of solo mode. Use force speed, go in here and mash through the engine maintenance console dialogue. Switch back to your main character because he also has force speed. And then run down this path. Go up to this terminal over here and mash through that one as well. And then we're going to do another save buffer right here when we're walking into this tube. So, save buffer there, and load. Sometimes you can actually get it to where during the save buffer you'll hit the loading zone and the game will just load this zone without having to do a quick load, but sometimes it doesn't. So It's not always going to happen. Walk forward, talk to T3. 3, 1 will get you through this conversation. Go ahead and use force speed, turn on solo mode, and run forward as Kreia. Get the concealed stash and blow up that mine. And then switch back to your character. And you'll want to equip the energy shield and the armband. And then activate that energy shield. Now we have to destroy the grenade, or the mines that have been placed in these tunnels. So we have to go a little bit out of our way here. Go there, and then head back. And then mash through this one, and keep going up the ramp. Alright, whenever your speed runs out, go ahead and use it again if you can. If you don't have enough force points for burst of speed, then Kreia might. So you can try switching over to her and telling her to use force speed to help you out. Alright, so once we get here, we're going to unequip Kreia's plasma torch, giving her a mining laser, and then equip the plasma torch to yourself. Because we're selfish. No, not really. Also, go ahead and use med packs so you have full health. And just keep on running. Once we get in here, Atton will have a cutscene and we'll go to the computer again. And this sequence is going to be 1 2 1 1 2 1 2 1 1 2. Alright, and now head down this hallway. Alright, see, I've run out of force speed and I don't have enough for another one, so I'm going to tell Kreia to use it. So cancel her combat and then just burst of speed. So hopefully, yeah, she went ahead and used it, so I got the speed. Run through those mines. If you have about this much health, I think you can withstand one more mine. But if you have less, then you're going to want to level up or use a med pack. Alright. Cut it a little bit close there. Alright, and then just go ahead and allocate the skills. Then use your feat for this weapon focused lightsaber. Then powers is going to be Valor. And then keep going. No, you can't avoid those mines, unfortunately. When you get to this terminal, go ahead and use 3 to blow it up. Because blowing up terminals is just the easiest way to complete everything you need to in this game. If the computer's not working, blow it up. Solve all the problems. Alright, and you get to the Ebon Hawk.
Quick, we're gonna need some
And now
time
it's
to
time
fire up the
for
engines. Let's get the laser
a minigame.
to work out.
Alright, so you'll notice I have my party members who are invisible shooting their blasters. That's not good. It's not terrible. It won't, like, break the game or anything. But it'll keep some of these guys from walking out to where I can shoot them. Like, anyone over to the left of this point, I can't shoot, because the turret doesn't shoot that far. But they usually don't want to stand back there, unless they're getting shot at. If they're getting shot at, they will stop. So what I like to do is try to shoot everyone but the leading guy, the guy closest to me, because the party members don't like to shoot anyone except the guy who's closest.
Alright, let's get out of
Alright, so go ahead and mash through this. And then we're going to do 3, 2, 3. Oh. I kept clicking there and I accidentally talked to T3, which is okay, because you want to talk to T3 anyway. but your order might be a little bit different. If Kreia starts talking, you're going to use one sequence, but if T3 starts talking, you're going to use this sequence, 4, and then keep pressing 2 until you get all the computer spikes you can. Then go ahead and talk to Atton again,
Now that because
and use the sequence 4,
Also in private,
3,
we
3.
will be mercifully free from the opinions of imbeciles and fools.
Actually, oh, I split a little bit later. After you finish your conversations, use force speed, and then go talk to Kreia. Now this is the longest conversation, so you might want to write down the sequence as I go. It's going to be
Have you come?
2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 5 twos that is. 3, 1, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, then 3, 3. That should give us a good bit of light side points, which is important to the run. Why is it important to the run? Because once you have either 25 light side points or negative 25 to dark side, then you will summon, or you'll actually get Vissus to show up on your next visit to the Ebon Hawk. But if you never get there, then you'll have to play more of the game, which we don't want to do. Alright,
How's our
go back and talk to
passenger
Atton
story?
and use 3, 3, 1, 2, and then spam 1 to continue, or to finish up the conversation. Alright, now we're going to head to Telos, and we're going to do a save buffer right after we load into Telos. That's also where I split for Peragus. Alright. I like to walk forward as well during this save buffer. So after you've done a few saves, you can go ahead and load. And you should be somewhere in the hangar bay. Since I moved, I'm closer to the door. Go ahead and open the door and turn on solo mode. Then open the access hallway. Use force speed if you need to. And now we're going to do a door clip after talking to that information terminal. That gives us a waypoint for fast travel system. So what you want to do is turn your camera like 45 or 30-ish degrees to the wall, and then kind of walk towards the door and then turn around. Now we're going to bring Kreia out of our party and then back in so that she's over here,
What is it?
and put her behind us. And then remove Atton from our party and add him back. Sometimes he does that, but that's not what we want. If he does that, go ahead and add T3. If he doesn't do anything nice, then you might have to rethink your positioning. Alright, so these guys are not in the right position, so let's try again. What we want to do is get one of these people to spawn on the other side of the wall. It's usually not this bad, though.
just say the word.
Alright, put her there. Oh, that's not good.
Yes.
If they move out of the way, just try to put them back. Okay. Atton, still there. T3, didn't work. Alright, how about this side? Sometimes one side of the door works better than the other. And it's been a while since I actually did this.
I hear
I
you.
hear you.
I hear
What is
you.
it?
Just say the
Yes.
word.
Oops. I like to teleport a lot.
I hear you.
What is it? What is it? What is it? Yes.
Say
There
the
we go.
word.
Apparently, for this door, the left side works a little bit better. For a different door, the right side will work. So, get to about this position. I don't know if Kreia has to be facing you, but
Yes.
this time it seemed to work better that way.
Just say the word.
Once one of your characters, it could be Atton or T3, gets inside this room, just go ahead and open the docking bay door and walk on inside. This allows us to complete the Aorian mission before we are ever assigned to that mission. Also, the cutscene skip that we did at the front of Telos Station skips us getting arrested as well. So, for vigilantes, doing things without being asked. And not obeying the law. You know, like Batman. Mash through that conversation and then talk to the droid, and mash through that one as well. First option for everything. Alright, we're sent to the Aorian compound where we can just mash through all the conversations. Turn on speed. Later build. Thanks for stopping by. Then head on out from the Aorian compound, making sure that we pick up the waypoint on the way. Now, this is an important point to make. As we're leaving the Aorian compound after that first door clip, we want to be leaving as the player character, not as anyone else. Because if we leave as someone else, then the game will crash. Why? Well, it's just because it removes everyone else from your party. And if it removes everyone from your party and you're not the player character, the game doesn't know what to do. So keep running down this hallway and then go to the information terminal to get the waypoint. So anytime I go to the terminal, I'm just clicking it and then pressing either 3 for any of them except for the docking bay one, which is just hit 2. And now we head to the entertainment module. If we had added people back to our party, then they would have just been removed again. So I just don't even bother until I get here. Then add those people back. And now we've lost all of our weapons. But that's fine. What we're going to do is, you can open this door beforehand or after. Go up to the Celestin, and the conversation is 1121. And then just tell your guys to fight. Atton will fight as well. And we're going to get Kreia to be
I hear you.
to run ahead of us. So we're going to turn on solo mode and use force speed. On the way, talk to the information terminal to get the waypoint. Open the cantina door and head on down this way. If when the Celestin conversation activates, we're going to use the sequence 112. Sometimes it activates quickly, sometimes not so quickly. As Kreia, continue on down until you get to the TFS protocol droid. 1114 will grant you access to all of your equipment. So go ahead and loot all the lockers here. Probably don't need to loot the 2 on the ends, but I do it anyway. Doesn't take too much extra time. And you might find something good. After Kreia finishes that, we're going to walk back this way to the merchants. Specifically, the guy behind this stock shelf. Just let me shop. Go to sell, and then sell all repair kits, security tunneler, any parts. Let's see, down to I think 6 computer spikes, or is it 7? Let's go to 7 just to be safe. Then any blasters that you have. Actually, probably should have saved some of those to give to Atton and such. Go ahead and sell the sonic grenades. You're not going to use them. Keep the ion one. Sell the survey gear, the exchange work gloves. Mainly any random item. You can sell energy shields as well. It's actually better to do so. Keep the armband. Sell the safety harness, stealth field, generator. any mining or logs that you have. Keep the stems. Go ahead and sell the broken stuff and the HK vocabulary, the upgrade, and the self-sustaining unit. That gives us a lot of money, which is good. Now we want to quickly peruse, see if there's a weapon. There isn't. Melee weapon would be good. Trandoshan sword is really good, and I think there are a few other good ones, like something like a Viper sword. For armor, you'd want to find some sort of robe, but there doesn't seem to be one. Oh, wow, that's not always there. Not going to buy it though. Probably would be a good thing to do so if that exists, but we want to get the hyper-adrenal stimulants. Oof. Don't scroll, it'll mess you up. And go ahead and purchase for about 5 of, make sure you have about 5 of each stem. Alright, I have a lot of money, that's good. You want to make sure you have, I think, 2,000 credits total after all these shopping trips, including going here to buy a bunch of med packs.
I hear you.
Go ahead and switch back to Kreia, and then go to the cantina. She just happens to be the closest. Turn to the right, and then talk to Luxa,
Hello there.
and mash through that conversation.
Wait.
Turn back around, and head on out. And use the information terminal to transit to the Zerka Corporation. So that's 2-2 to transit. Alright, once you're there, go ahead and turn around and go this way. Equip the vibroblade to your character. You can give anyone else whatever you want. I'm going to give him the holdout blaster just because he likes blasters. When you talk to the exchange thug, tell him Luxa sent you, which is 2, and then go ahead and enter inside. We're going to just run past this person, which is just 3. That just makes him open the door, which is exactly what you want. Alright, so here we're going to do another save buffer. So right after we open the door, so it's going to be open the door quick save. Like this. And then you can walk forward as well. Kind of saves a little bit of time. That skips a fight in that room, because all we have to do is talk to this Gamorrean boss. And here's where we want to use one of our ion grenades. That's why we looted the one before, on these 2 droids. If you're lucky, it'll kill both of them immediately, if you weren't lucky. And go ahead and mash through all this conversation.
Time to take you down to size.
Alright, use Flurry to take out all these guys. Horror game stream.
Everyone down.
I'm not sure it would be too interesting to do a horror game stream. Go ahead and mash through this conversation as well. And you don't have to loot anyone. Just use force speed and run on out. Well, maybe, Regiers. Maybe I'll learn how to speedrun a horror game. Would you consider Amnesia a horror game? I've been looking at that game. Might find it interesting enough to run. Alright, so after we exit the exchange, we're going to go down to the right to go back to the Aorians. Once this area loads, turn on solo mode, and walk inside, hopefully alone, but it's usually not. Then talk to Chodo Habat, and we're going to mash... No, not mash. It's going to be 1, 2, and then mash. Because that gives you a little bit extra light side points,
Yes.
and you know how precious those are. Go back to the information terminal, use 2-2 to go back to the cantina. If you figure out who's near the door, you can try to switch quickly. Once you're inside, turn on solo mode as the main character, actually. And go forward and talk to Corin Fault. Mash through his dialogue. This is why you have to have money, because you pay him for information. And then go ahead and exit. And go over here, do 2 again to transfer here. And now remove both people from your party. It doesn't really matter. You just don't want Atton in your party. Go to the apartment complex A, apartment A3, and now we're going to do fake level up. This is something that we didn't have to do in KotOR 1, but is immensely useful in KotOR 2. Alright, so the important parts of the setup are as follows. You have 2 people in your party that you can tab through using a key. And your character is at level 3, waiting to be leveled up to level 5. And same goes for Kreia. So, what we're going to do is save, because we don't want to mess this up. Let's make a hard save. What is it called? Flu. Fake level up. Or false level up, either way. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to open the footlocker, and then open the character menu. Right at the same time that the pop-up for the footlocker is going to pop up. So, wow, that was actually really good. Can't believe I got that timing right. I'll show you a way to do it otherwise. So, what I want to do is, well, as you can see, the game is kind of glitched because, well, you're in the menu and not in the menu at the same time. The game is very confused. It has a right to be. So, what we're going to do is show you what happens if you don't get that immediately. You want to be a little bit early for this trick, rather than a little bit late. Because if you're late, you have to wait for the footlocker to open again. But if you're early, then you can kind of do a buffer strat. So, what I do is switch to another menu, which is just for me is the next key down, which just happens to be the equip. Switch to that menu, press that menu button again to close the menu, and then immediately follow it with opening the character menu again, like that. What we want to do is kind of advance frame by frame until the menu pops up again. So once the menu pops up in this, while you're in the character menu, go ahead and close the menu in any way, which is get items or just close. Then hit level up, and then hit the button that will cycle your lead, your party lead. So that's tab for me. Now I am actually leveling up as Kreia to the main character. It's very confusing, but that's alright. When you do this, you actually, for the first level up, you have to use your mouse to navigate. So we're going to use recommended for attribute the entire time. If you do not use recommended and use different ones, then you'll actually cancel the fake level up early. We're going to save all of the skill points we gain, and the first feat we're going to get is Force Valor. So accept. You're going to now be on your player character, so tab back to Kreia and start leveling her up, power leveling style. So make sure you don't exit the menu during this, because you might break it. I don't know. As we were doing before, save the skills. We don't really care about the force power until we can upgrade either speed or valor. Save the skills, and now we're going to get flurry. recommended just to go fast. Skills, recommended. Attributes, recommended. Save the skills, recommended powers. Save the skills, and then go improved flurry, and night speed and night valor. Save the skills, recommended. As you can see, we're much higher level now with Kreia than it said we could go to. This is because we've tricked the game into thinking that Kreia will always have one more level up to go. But that's just because we actually use that level up on our main character. Alright, so we're going to keep going. Save the skills, recommended powers, recommended attributes, save the skills, recommended feat this time, recommended power. We're at 12. Save the skills, recommended power, 13. Okay, now that we're at 14, we're going to save the skills, do recommended power, and then don't level up again. So now we're just about to level up to level 15. What we're going to do is exit out of the menu, click or press the default action to open the footlocker, open the character menu and wait. The container menu will pop up, go ahead and close it again, level up, hit tab to switch over to your main character, and then allocate all the skills as recommended. Doesn't really matter where else you put them. Grab Master Flurry and Master Speed and Master Valor. Hit accept, and now you should see that your main character has no more level ups. He is actually now a level 3 Jedi Guardian, level 2 Jedi Consular. And he has Master Speed and Master Valor, as well as Master Flurry. And he should have some good skill points as well. So like repair and treat injury are really high now. So yeah, there we go. It's fake level up. But now we can't really move around. So what we're going to do is do a quick save and a quick load, and then we can move. There we go. And as you see down here, Master Speed, Master Valor. Alright, so that's fake leveling up. You can do the same thing in KotOR 1, but it's harder to find a good setup for it, and there's not really too much of a benefit for doing it either. Yeah. Alright, so what you're going to do is walk down this way a little bit, and then turn on solo mode and switch to Kreia and walk the other way. Because we're going to open up this door and go straight on into apartment B2. And then the sequence here is going to be 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's supposed to be our only dark side points in the entire game. Then switch back to your main character and continue on. Actually, sorry, not that door, this door. Should be obvious, there's a big red thing there. And now we're going to do another door clip. So, say never mind to B4 D4, even though we just got his credentials, we want to do something before we talk to him. Add Atton back to your party, turn on solo mode, and run all the way to the mainframe door. If you've played the game before, then you know that this is actually where B4 D4 goes to get information for the Aorians. So, stand in this corner, about like that, and then do as before, remove Kreia, add her back,
What is it?
and put her behind us. And then remove Atton, remove him, and add him back.
Yes.
He should be on this side. Hey, it worked this time. Don't talk to T1N1, you'll lose some time because he actually does go through his entire conversation. Zerk a mainframe and mash through. Switch back and leave. Now we've completed B4 D4's mission before we've gotten B4 D4. So that way we don't have to walk around slowly as him. When you get back to B4 D4, mash through his dialogue, and just keep mashing. It'll switch to B44, and we can keep going. Then talk to Chodo, and keep mashing. Talk to him again. Turn on speed again, and run. Run out to the information terminal, and transit to the docks, which is 2-1. Mash through this conversation. Talk to the Aorian, and mash through that. And now for this one, since we've already been in this area, it actually gets confused, so it wants to open the hallway door first, even though that's already open. So just use that terminal twice to get it to open the door. And now we're going to leave Telos Station. I like to split after this last conversation. That's not even with you, it's just, how did I overhear that? Alright. How unfortunate. We have Bao-Dur now. Or as I like to call him, Bao-Dur.
That shuttle of yours is done for. Scrap.
Just mash through all of his dialogue. He's so boring.
Crashed the shuttle that time too?
He's either boring or really high. Alright. So you have to keep Bao-Dur in your party. But go ahead and add Kreia. And turn on solo mode and activate force speed. And just keep running. You want to put as much distance between you and Bao-Dur as possible. As always, we want to ignore as many fights as we can.
Another sentry drawer.
Thank you, Bao-Dur. About right here, you're going to want to use speed again, because it's going to run out soon anyway. And then run towards the hills over there. You can kind of juke a little bit between these mines, but not the last one. The last one's kind of blocked on both sides by the turrets. Once you get to the next area, turn on solo mode and run on by yourself. After this conversation, we're going to turn around that corner and do another save buffer to skip a fight. Go ahead and use speed if it ran out. Alright. Once again, this time you had to wait for it to fade out and then fade back in before you load. So it takes a little while longer. Keep going, and this is one reason why you should have bought ion grenades from the shop on Telos Station. I actually completely forgot about it. So I'm just going to use my souped up fighting style, which might actually be faster. Learn everything. Learn a new thing every day. When you're out of combat, you'll be able to use that terminal and mash through the dialogue, because it's Bao-Dur and he's useless. I say that now, but he's the only person that can get us through this next level. How long does it take to figure stuff like this out? Since I was running KotOR 1, I knew about a lot of the glitches, like several of the glitches that we use in this game, but the main route for all of this, well, I changed a lot once I figured out that we could do door clips in other places, but Think Shooter actually came up with the main, I don't know if he came up with it, but he's the one that I learned both KotOR 2 and KotOR 1 route from. Once we load into this zone, we're going to just immediately run forward and try to attack the door.
This arm of mine isn't just for show, General.
Don't worry about the poison. Step aside, turn on solo mode, and make sure Kreia doesn't go into the poison, and try to make sure Bao-Dur doesn't. Now we're going to give him some stuff to work with. Give him whatever you have that'll give him a good defense bonus. I picked up a combat suit from that footlocker earlier, so I'm going to use that. And then, I don't have any shields. You could save a shield for Bao-Dur if you wanted to. But I guess that's what we're gonna be stuck with for now. Switch back to your inventory and go to usable, so you can give him alacrity, stamina, and strength. And then you can also use Master Valor to give him a little bit more of an edge.
I hear you.
And now he's gonna run slowly. Yeah, Slow King helped me out with finding some neat tricks like the door clips. He suggested different places for me to try, and he looked around himself. Alright, so the reason why I hate this portion so much is because you had to play as Bao-Dur. Oh! Oh! And he does stupid stuff like that. When you get through this last door, you'll want to mash as quickly as possible, because sometimes Bao-Dur will want to run back and attack the people. You don't want to do that. But the main problem that this is so painful is that all those big droids can stun you. Alright, so once you get here, turn off solo mode, and your guys will teleport to you. Once they get here, turn it back on. He's fine. Go over here to the security control and mash through that. I don't want to... Oh wait, it's fine now because I just turned off the poison. Really? You can't get to him? I'm just gonna help him because he's gonna go want to kill things.
What is it?
Kreia, stand there so you don't go. Alright, so. Once you're ready to go on, try to re-stem yourself.
Take him down.
And save, because this is the halfway point. Actually, it's more like the 1/3 way point, but it's the only break you get. Yeah, we'll get to that. Once we open this door, hold tight to this wall right here so we avoid talking to the Zerka employee. Alright. And go to this terminal and mash through that so you can destroy some of the droids that'll be there for Kreia, who's going to come back here later. Alright. I was actually hoping that this would happen just so you see why I actually hate this level. Once again, this is a good reason why you need to know that you can use med packs from the inventory. If you're stunned, you can use them from the inventory, but you can't use them in the in-game. Alright, hang a left and keep going. I ran out of stems. I hesitate to apply them again because I'm almost there. Even if you miss the force fields, they'll still deactivate. But if you miss the doors, they won't break, so whatever. Right, I should make it clear that this is an any percent tutorial. I haven't quite figured out how to play through the all worlds route because my game always locks up on Nar Shaddaa for some reason. Alright, so once we activate the reactor and watch that cutscene, we're gonna unequip everything from Bao-Dur, give Kreia the plasma torch, switch to our main character, stem up, actually force power up. Go ahead and turn off solo mode, attack the tank droid,
Yes.
and hopefully there's Bao-Dur. You turn off solo mode so that Bao-Dur will teleport back to you. Once he's there, you turn solo mode back on. Let your main character take care of the droid,
I hear you.
and run off as Kreia. Alright, 400 experience was me taking out the tank droid. Once again, stay to the left to avoid talking to that guy. Invisible walls. Kreia wants to go down this path. Open the security door. Footlocker. Metal box. To get parts. Then switch to him. If he has anything, try to loot him. He might have something good. Metal box. Large locker. The other large locker. And the other far metal box. I really don't know if you need any of this because all that stuff was used in actually you need to switch to Bao-Dur and open the hangar bay. All the items that I just picked up were usually used on other planets, so I'm not sure if you need to loot all those crates. Alright, so here we want to do another save buffer once we get to the top of... Oh, it crashed. Alright, where do we have to restart from? Do we have an autosave? Although it crashed... Okay, see? If it crashes on a quick load, then the quick save was probably corrupted. I'm pretty sure that what happened was I hit quick save, it started to quick save, and then I hit quick load, and it started to quick load at the same time, and then it died. Not good when you're loading from where you're reading or writing to. Luckily it auto-saved on the polar plateau, so we'll just start there again and do quick save. And load. That skips the fight with the HK-50s, and now we just walk down this way. Glad to see KotOR 2 now a little different from Knight Academy. Okay, sure. Massive income. Streaming? Yeah, right. Alright, go inside the Polar Academy. It is important that you do not choose, I think, option 2 here?
Lay down your weapons, and you shall not be harmed.
Yeah, you don't want to be pacifist right here, because it'll soft lock the game. Really, that conversation option will cancel out this this dialogue, and then it goes into like some weird debug mode, which doesn't allow you to do anything. So go ahead and say 1 and then 3.
Drop your weapons, or we shall take them from you.
Do as they say. I sense we will come to no harm.
And mash through this conversation, and then we're going to have, I think, the second longest conversation, or at least it's important what you say. I really should add some more splits because I'd rather know how well I did Telos Planet than how well I did Telos Planet and the Polar Academy. You can sort your splits however you like. Alright. Click to mash through the dialogue, but you need to use this sequence of keys. It's going to be 1, 1, 8, 1, 1, 1, 1, 3, 3, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3.
Take your ship, then. I don't care where you go, just
Alright,
leave this
there we
place.
go.
Leave Telos. We shall remove him, mistress.
You don't have anything else to say in this conversation,
Come
so
with us.
kind of mash sometimes because most of this, some of the like camera shots can be skipped as well, but a lot of the
Of course, mistress. I will
this
tell
is
the
one of
others you are
the
not to be
conversations that has so
disturbed.
many lines that can't be
Please,
skipped.
don't exhaust yourself.
It's annoying.
We can attend to matters here.
And actually, I don't even know if it's beneficial to skip sometimes, or for this one specifically, because you have to wait until she gets into the room. I don't think she's teleported down the hallway anyway to you actually mashing through dialogue. Oh well, that's just me speculating. But now we can play the game again. So we're gonna go pick up our party members. That's the wrong way. You can level up whenever you want. I just kind of consolidate them all into one spot. I usually take the left hallway because... sorry, I get my right and left mixed up. The right hallway, because that's going to be helpful later on. The sequence here is 1-7, 1-7, then 3, and 1-3-1. Go ahead and turn around and head out the back, the way you came. And then go talk to T3. Just smash through his dialogue, I think. Apparently so. Use force speed because talking to T3 slows you down. I don't know why. Go through this door and then go to the Ebon Hawk. Then you have a lot of text to mash through. So get your mashing arm strong so that you can just continually mash away all the text, all the story.
Well, now that we're off that Dejaric board of a planet, I say we burn sky until we see lines.
We seem to have found it.
You'll get to talk to the council, but it doesn't matter what you say. You at least get to see who's on the council. Who are you? Who are you? Oh, it's you. I have a little bit more to say after you leave.
And that is the future we must accept.
That it is. Alright. Now you want to say 113331.
Jedi sure like their secrets, don't they?
113331. And then mash again. You have 2 more conversations to go through.
Just bring the
This
parts to me
one.
before you get started building it. I'll make sure they're usable.
And another one with Bao-Dur.
All I'm saying is that you've gone for a long time without a memory wipe.
All I'm saying
Most
is you need
droids
some
behave badly
caffeine.
under those circumstances.
You might actually be emotional then. Alright. Use your force speed and go to the front. We're going to head to Onderon, which is in the middle, and travel. Alright.
Well,
We're going to now do a sequence 2.
you know,
Where's the other ones? 2, 4, and then 1. And now we leave. On the way out, or once you get out, you can actually equip again. Bring Kreia and T3 with you. Turn on solo mode. And equip your Viper Blade and your armband as well. If you don't have a robe, go ahead and equip the miner uniform if you haven't sold it, because it doesn't count as armor. You can still use your force powers with it on. There are a few conversations along the way, or small cutscenes where they show you things you've already seen. Just want to keep going. I don't think there's a deviation in the... Oh, there are deviations. Never mind. Shh! Don't tell me I missed the split. Let me figure it out later. See, I talk about my splits, and then I forget about my splits. I did that last time too. Alright, when you talk to the Duros, just say 5. And that'll be fine. Let them be angry. At least you didn't get dark side points. But if there's a way to get light side points from that, that'd be awesome.
You let the
Go ahead and mash through that. It's only a few lines. Turn on solo mode again because it automatically turns it on every single time you go through a loading zone. Mainly it's just a straight shot for this segment. And go here. I'm gonna talk to this group of Mandalorians. And then we're gonna talk to Mandalore. The sequence for Mandalore is 313. Pause, turn on solo mode, and then switch to
Yes.
T3. Talk to Zuka.
Right.
Then say, I guess, 1111. Once he tells you about everything, so it's 1111 and then 3. You're fine, because you now have the missions that he wanted to do. Level up T3 before you do the broken wires. I think I lost a few extra parts there because I was careless. And then keep going. The reason you use T3 here is because he's the only one that has enough computer use to get through this computer over here. Although I don't know if it's necessary anymore since we don't need as much money. Whatever. Mash through the telemetry computer and then switch back to Kreia and leave. Turn on solo mode and activate force speed, switch back to your main character and run. You'll want to stay a little bit to the left side so you avoid getting attacked by those guys. And then about here, you want to unequip Kreia and then re-equip Kreia and let her stay behind. And then talk to Kelborn. Conversation is going to be just all ones. Either way works. Just mash through it. Go ahead and use force speed again.
What happened to Lon?
He got stormed by those
Yes, Bao-Dur might have enough computer use, but he wouldn't be faster than T3. The idea would be to get either Kreia or yourself over there, so that you could get there quickly using force speed. Wow. Go ahead and use an extra stem if you need to here, because I don't know why these guys are a pain. Maybe it's because I haven't leveled up. For feats, you want to just go back and forth between... Actually, I think you'll only ever get to Master Dueling, so keep using that. For powers, get Battle Meditation and Aura. Alright, we'll get more of Aura later.
Set this.
Mash through that dialogue. Oops, I used the wrong one, because I have more powers now. Take out only the scouts. They're the only ones that are important. Alright, you can ignore the Boma. And kill this Canuck. The Canuck that's at this junction. If it's not this one, the way you know is if this pops up, then you did it. That gives you the last lightsaber part. Well, next to last. And then you're going to keep going down this path and go up here and activate the permacrete detonator. I know, man. It's only downhill from here. KotOR is done. KotOR 2's almost done. Just mash it. You're fine. Switch back to Kreia and talk to Kelborn a second time. This conversation matters, so it's 1143. Now you switch back to T3 and head back to the Mandalorian camp. You can switch back to Kreia so that you can use force speed immediately. And turn on solo mode and keep going. And now we're going to go off to the left. What's next? I'm looking for some other speed games to play. Or to run. Maybe Star Trek games or some other action-y games. I think KotOR is probably going to be my only like real RPG until something else catches my eye. Alright, so once you get here you'll talk to Kumas, do 2, 2, 3, 2. I think that's right. And then kill the 3 Bomas, and talk to Kumas again, and mash through that dialogue. No, talk to Kumas. Kumas. Alright, now we're gonna head back. Oh, we leveled up. Oh man. Are you willing to mention what it is, Letters? Alright, so go ahead and level up. Doesn't really matter what you put it in. Put your skill points in. And grab Force Shield, which is upgraded aura. I don't think we need Affect Mind. Do we need Affect Mind? I don't think we need Affect Mind, so it might come back to bite us later. But for now, we'll assume that we don't. Since I'm low on Force, I'm going to get Kreia to use Force Speed for me. Oh. Well, I'll be looking forward to it then, Letters. Alright, so at the end of this hall, we're going to fight the Zakeg. So go ahead and use Valor and the Battle Meditation. And you can actually add in a stem as well if you want. Finish off the Zakeg and loot him. You can fight some other guys if you want, but looting him is important.
What is it?
Switch back to Kreia and leave. Actually go back to the place. Talk to the guard captain. Show him the Zakeg as proof, so that's 2 and 3. I ran out of Force Speed, so Kreia again. Now talk to Zarga and mash through that conversation and go to Mandalore. Then we're going to press 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. And now we get to fight some number of enemies. I really don't know why this next fight lasts as long as it does, and I don't really know what ends it, or causes it to stop, so that's just me. I don't know. It's weird. Oh, Jedi Outcast 2, that's possible. I'm going to switch out T3 for Handmaiden here, because I want her to take some damage and hopefully retain it. It's possible, but not reliable. Alright, just walk past those guys, they're not important.
You didn't think you were the only ones with stealth generators, did you? Over here, there are more of them.
Alright, and now we want to... Let's see, I'm actually going to try something a little bit interesting here. Get Kreia to upgrade herself with Force Scream, but if you don't really want to, then that's fine. I don't even know if it's actually going to be worth it, so don't take this as the actual strat. Well, she'll only have level 1 Scream, so it's probably not going to be useful. So I'll just show you the normal strat. Make sure you activate your Force powers, then let your guy go ahead and start wailing on folks. The idea for the other strat is to get Kreia to use a Force power that is AoE. So that would be Scream or Shock, Lightning. To be able to take out guys more efficiently. But it's you know, not something that's always going to work out. I also don't know when the fight's over. I usually it's just fight until the game stops you. When it stops you, take Kreia with you, and that's where I split for Onderon, or for Duxon.
But the timing of
And go ahead and spam past that one, and keep going. If you can use speed, go ahead and do so. That's the other problem with using that other strat for Kreia. You run out of force power. Just keep running. Alright, you're going to be stopped by a few people up here, or a couple people talking about politics. And I don't want to get involved, so just press 4. Alright, once you get here, mash through that conversation, turn on solo mode, and run past them. This is going to be a lot of back and forth on the run. This may be where your game decides to start crashing. I don't know why, it's just weird.
Yes.
Once you get close to that building over there, you switch back to Kreia and continue. Mash through this conversation when it shows up. Turn on solo mode, use force speed, and then talk to that guy, Mr. Rican.
Welcome to.
Mash until you say, you can say I'll be going. I just keep going for a little while. Switch back, solo mode again, and keep going. Up here I like to try to do a save buffer right there. Sometimes it actually works, sometimes it will actually come back to bite you once you leave the leave ISIS, or whatever you want to call it. But for now, I think it'll work. Once you get inside the cantina, talk to Kif. Talk to him like 7 times, or 7 choices. Then talk to Nico. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. You don't want to talk to Nico more than 7 times because you'll end up playing Pazak and unintentionally do so multiple times like I did last time. But you just want to mash through those guys' conversations until you get to around the end of, until you notice that, hey, I can say I'm leaving. Just want to get some information. After talking to those guys, switch back to someone near the door, exit, switch back, go over to that refuse pile, investigate, switch back, walk inside, turn on solo mode every single time. Go in here, talk to Pinar, switch back, solo mode, and force speed as well. Talk to 1B8D, mash through the conversation, switch back and go inside. Turn on solo mode and talk to Kif again, Twi'lek.
I hear you.
You might have to use force speed. Talk to Kif until this happens, and then talk to Nico, the second guy you talk to, who's big on Pazak, especially if you don't want to play Pazak against him.
Welcome back.
And then you'll be teleported over here. Just keep mashing. And then you'll be teleported again. Keep mashing.
Thanks for...
Open the door and turn on force speed. Go back into the cantina. And this time, you'll be wanting to turn on some of your stems as well, buffs like Valor, solo mode, again, make sure you turn that on. Meditation. Go talk to Bikel and murder her. Oh, I was hoping that would happen in one shot. Oh, never mind, there it was. Loot her corpse, switch back, and leave. As you're leaving, turn on speed, and just go back to this guy's apartment over here and talk to him. Wow, that force speed ran out real quick. Talk to Dagon, and now we're going to do another force, alright, not force, save buffer. This will skip KotOR. So just leave the cantina after that cutscene. Turn on solo mode, and then you don't have to turn on solo mode. Doesn't matter. You're just leaving. Hey, that save buffer from before, it worked. You didn't see cutscene there. It's great. All right, and now we just leave Onderon. Alright, on your next level up, your attribute level up should always go to strength. Next level up is, well, let's get force deflection. Why not? It's a passive skill, we don't have to activate it. And we do fight against a large number of people that have blasters.
I'm Cap.
Alright, so here's my visa, and then I'll be going, so that's 1, 2. And then leave. Head back to your shuttle, and leave.
We're back. But that's enough for now. We'll have time to talk later.
Just smash through the conversation, and then head to the front of the Mandalorian camp. You're going to talk with the shopkeep here. You're going to sell some stuff, maybe, depending on how much money you have. Probably sell some stuff. Then buy a whole bunch of stems.
Our numbers.
Did the stream go offline for you guys?
14.
Alright. I gotta hang on a second, because don't know if the stream fell offline. Maybe Chatty's just crazy. Huh. Nope, stream's still online. Chatty is just crazy. Alright. Time to keep going. Alright, so talk to this guy, and I think it's just mash until you get to the shop. Go ahead and sell mainly the parts that you have, because that'll give you like 4,000 credits. Then go to MISC and buy hyper, all hyper stems. Buy back up to maybe 6 of each stem. Then buy a whole bunch of advanced med packs, as much as you can carry, and then just leave. Make sure you talk to the Mandalorian guide here, because that'll send you straight back to the ship. Now, here, Visas should show up. If she doesn't, this is correct. If she doesn't, then I have no idea what to tell you. You missed some light side point, or you gained an extra dark side point. So I don't really know of a good backup strat, other than like talking to some of your party members, specifically Kreia. I didn't talk to Kreia here, which is actually a bit surprising why I had enough light side points. So if you talk to Kreia, and I think it's just mash through her dialogue, you'll get a light side point, and that'll help possibly spawn Visas. So now, go ahead and keep mashing. fight this. If you're quick enough, you can actually activate Master Speed when you load into the Ebonhawk. I just forgot to do it this time. And that'll help you with this fight. Alright, for this, I think it's actually,
Now I've seen everything. This woman, she's a Miraluka.
4? 1. 4, 1. And then I think just mash. Now that we have the last part of our lightsaber, we're gonna go talk to Bao-Dur. Say 2, 4, 4, and then the one-handed lightsaber, which is 2. And then equip the lightsaber. It doesn't matter which one. I'll just take green. Full and broken down versions. Okay. I'm definitely gonna upload these to YouTube though. So, if you're watching on YouTube, hello. Go back to the galaxy map, and then now we're going to head on to Dantooine, which is at the top. A nice split there. There's no real transition, but rest assured, you're on Dantooine now. Bring Kreia and T3 with you. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sounds good. Just say I'll be going now to that lady. And head on. Head on out. What's coming up is gonna be the big glitch of the game. Why don't I use both lightsabers? That's a good question, because I really don't know. Oh, you didn't ask why, you just said you don't. Yes, I don't, but I don't really know why. Sometimes I end up with 2 lightsabers. Sometimes I don't end up with 2 lightsabers. It is easier to land attacks with a single blade, and I do go dueling, but I could just as easily go 2-weapon fighting, but I think one main reason would be because I don't get master 2-weapon, don't get master dueling until late in the game, like the last level up I have. I don't know. It's just that in KotOR 2 we have to use weapons a lot longer, and we level up a little bit more, so we get 2-weapon fighting a lot earlier, and it ends up being more useful. I don't know. That's my hand-wavy way of saying why we do it, why I do it this way. If you find it works better the other way, let me know. I'll probably just add an addendum. Alright, so here we're going to do a quick save, and we're going to try to do 2 things at once here. I'm going to do a let's see. I'm going to save that for later, so I can just show you what we're going to be doing in a second. So I'm going to do this twice. The easy way, but long way, is to kill all these Cath Hounds, and then do the trick. That's dueling increases one-hand damage, but also increases the chance to hit. 2-weapon fighting does technically increase your overall damage because you're attacking with 2 weapons instead of 1, but it reduces the chance to hit. So I'm not really sure. It seems like it might go either way. Kind of depends on how things work out, shake out. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm not sure which one Regiers actually meant. I just thought I'd clear it up. So go up to the door and spin around like we did with all the other door clips. And we're actually just gonna do the same thing. Move Kreia here. Get T3 back into our party. and now we keep going into the Jedi Enclave. Standard door clip. This one actually is probably the most consistent of all of them, though. But if you want to do it the difficult way, and the kind of what's the word? It's not consistent. I'll just say it that way, put it that way. Is to find a Kath Hound that's close to the door, but not right next to a lot of other Kath Hounds, and try to do it really quickly, okay, without going into combat. Sometimes you can use force jump to get in without going into combat if you cancel your attack before it deals damage. Also, you don't want to be attacked by anyone, because that puts you in combat as well. I'm going to wait here a little bit. Alright. Like that. Alright, I think I'm in a good position. Cray is out. I'm back. Switch to Cray. Unpause. Don't move. Nope. He moved. And this is why it's inconsistent. But it's a lot faster if you actually get it to work. Alright, I'm just going to go for it. Nope, he hit me. Oh, good, good. Jump on that guy, stop.
Yes.
There we go. Kath Hound skip into the clip.
Here you
There we go. That's the quick way. Difficult? Yes. Inconsistent? Yes. But now, we're in the end game. We only completed one planet, but this is the end of the game. Close to it. We want to just mash through all the dialogue, because we don't care about light side or dark side anymore, because we already have Vissus. This is the trick that Think Shooter showed us, wherein we learned about door clipping. I actually wasn't running the game until he showed this, so I came in at just the right time. But yeah, we found other applications for the door clip, as well as better ways to do it. The way that Think Shooter was doing it was simply by running up to the door and turning off solo mode, as we did in on Telos, inside the base.
away from him.
Your party members will teleport to you
Step away.
if you're far enough away and you turn off solo mode. Sometimes they'll teleport behind walls or beyond triggers.
How could you
Luckily we don't have to worry about triggers because we can just skip those with save buffer. But for doors, we don't really want to take the time to hope and pray that they teleport to the other side. So we found this other way of using the party menu to send them to the other side of the door. Alright, so keep running this way, and you keep going out, and just mash through actually, I don't think you mashed through this text. I think you hit lots of 2s.
That's what I was
Yeah,
afraid
2s.
you'd say.
Yeah, she takes off her hood a little bit.
What is wrong?
For this conversation, we just want to say, I think 5 or 4? 5. We don't want to talk to her.
It is such a quiet thing to fall, but far more terrible is to admit it.
Is his door really not possible on any other door? Interesting. Didn't realize that. Alright, so now we get to play as the Handmaiden, but we really don't like playing as her. So the strat here is to get her killed. It's a kamikaze strategy, so That's one reason why we went to one of those crates on Telos to pick up 5 frag grenades. So what we're going to do is run up to Atris and start throwing frags. And hope it kills either her or us. Either way works. No, you can actually finish off Atris. Finish off her health. It's just... oh jeez, Atris, why are you taking the slow route? Fight me. Wow. If you lower Atris's health to 0, then she'll just go ahead and finish you off in the cutscene. Alright, so now we're going to use the power that we got on Dantooine, which is Force Enlightenment. That activates all of our aura powers, speed powers, and valor powers all at the same time at a low cost. And that makes us nigh unstoppable, so we just kill things in one shot. Alright, I use mouse movement here to actually walk into the next cutscene real quick. Mash through all these cutscene or dialogues. Right after we finish talking to the handmaiden here, we're gonna do a quick save or quick buffer, save buffer here. No, you can't, Director Slowking. We've already tried that. Alright, so we want to skip that conversation with Lieutenant Grin because it's long. We can take Karth out of our, Atton out of our party because he's useless. And we can save buffer past Mandalore if we want, but I don't think it's actually too important. He just talks to us for a little bit. If you get caught by Mandalore, just smash through that conversation.
Thank goodness.
Alright, now we're on to the interesting part. Actually, the rest of the game was pretty interesting too, but we're Jedi now, and we have a lightsaber. Finally. Force jumps. They speed the game up quite a bit. So we're just going towards the hangar. And mash through this conversation, accept your party, talk to Mandalore again. Once the next level loads, after mashing through this, we're going to do a save buffer at the very start. And this skips another like minute-long cutscene or something. I have not timed it. It's just really annoyingly long. Might even be a minute or two. Go ahead and use Enlightenment again. Run down this way. And go to the left. Sorry. Yeah, you can. You can jump with a two-handed either a double-bladed or 2 singles. Alright, so go down this way, go down this hallway to the right, and then use this, just go to this corner. You'll be prompted to set a charge. Just mash through that. Jump to this guy if you can, because I forgot. Is it really a slower animation? Now go straight through this group, and then take a right. You'll plant another bomb. If you ever run really low on health, remember that you bought a whole bunch of advanced med packs on Duxon. That's what I'm going to do now. Alright. One beneficial thing about Enlightenment is that you can kind of see when your force is going to be, or when your powers are going to run out. Because force speed stays on the longest, while the other two deactivate before it. So if you ever see that you only have one buff, then you know you're about going to be required to turn it back on. Alright, so just mash through Nihilus's cutscene. Whatever dialogue he actually has. Alright, so what we're going to do is, right when we gain control again, we're going to use our Force Enlightenment, and then open the menu before he attacks us. That way we're still not in combat mode. Then use one of each basic stimulant. We want to keep these for the later two fights. And then use Master Flurry on him. Alright. When the game slows down for the second fight, when it goes black, keep hitting 1 to use more flurries while it's right after it's kind of stopped you. That way you get an extra strike in. Then once it comes back from black, turn on Force Enlightenment again, and then start attacking him again. Once it goes completely black, just do a quick save, and then you can run out. Even though he's still alive, technically, you've won. The game's kind of not sure what to do because you don't have specific party members with you, so it's confused. What else is new? Yes, there is. There's also Silver Crystal and Cyan Crystal and Orange Crystal. They added a whole bunch of new color crystals, which make it pretty interesting. So I'm actually going to go ahead and level up. What do I want? I'm going to go for Master. I probably should have done that before I fought him. And I really don't know what else to get. Don't really need anything else. So I'm just going to grab Effect Mind. It doesn't matter. Just something to stay out of the way. Alright, so right as we go down the right hallway, there's a room off to the right. Put that there, and then we figure out, oh, we gotta find another core. Before we, actually the palace is really simple in the speedrun. Jump to that guy, and then go down the right. Take a left, and then the door on the left. Go to the terminal. Mash. Go to the bomb. And mash. And leave. As you're leaving, use Enlightenment again. And then force jump to the lieutenant. And run. Oh, okay. I see. It's just glitchy. Yeah, you had a lot of problems with Onderon, didn't you? It would just crash a lot. I never really had that problem. Alright, keep going down here. Once you open this door, you'll be able to jump to that guy down there. Aw, I was hoping I'd be able to squeeze through. Then go back to the front and leave. And that's where I split for the Ravager, not Dantooine. Yeah, just do a save if you're on the palace in Onderon, just do a save buffer through Tobin. Just keep walking through. But if your game's just glitchy on Onderon, then there's not really much you can do. I knew you'd ask that,
You were a
Slow King.
There is much to be done.
I've tried save buffering into this area, but you can't do anything when you're there. Alright. So go ahead and activate Enlightenment, and kind of try to follow the path that I'm following. It's like a maze out here, so... And I'll bring up the map afterwards so you can see where I went. Alright, so let's check the map for now, since we're on a halfway point. So I went down that way, up here, through there, and then around. Also, there's a green crystal here. Well, usually green. It's red this time. I don't know why. It's not like you can really use it. I'm gonna go take a right over here. Hopefully this storm beast is gonna be nice to me. That's alright, that's okay. He was in a good position for me to jump to. Alright, keep going. I'm gonna keep going straight. Jump to that one, not the guy behind me. Go into this tunnel. Jump to one of these guys. Yeah, there he is. Now we're going to do a save buffer about where that rock extends across that point. So start a little bit early so you don't run into the trigger. This skips the fight with the greater storm beast. It also skips the cutscene that closes both doors and then opens both doors. So a little bit more time. Alright, and we're going to do one more save buffer here. Once we're halfway across the bridge, heading up, we're going to start the save buffer. This will skip the cutscene where everyone starts kneeling to you. It's kind of creepy, so we'll skip that. Alright, so as we walk in here, yes, good point. If you don't have a companion, then their cutscene won't be triggered. That's why a lot of the extra people, a lot of the extra cutscenes don't happen. Like Mira versus Hanhar, and the remote droid for Bao-Dur. Since we don't have Goto, he never shows up. Alright, so we take the left path, keep going. Once we get through that door right there, we open this one and keep going. Let's go to the Proving Grounds. Hopefully you don't get swarmed by those guys. To the left here, take the left door. Down the right hallway and take the middle door. Door number 2. Wait a little bit for those guys to move so you can walk around them. Go to the left. Once again, the left. Finally, the right. Left again. Straight. And then right. This time we want to either kill one of those guys or try to not die. Well, that's just me. That's just me being dumb. Well, we'll get to see Telos again. Telos Academy. That's fine, I'll just go through it quickly. Without all the commentary. So many lefts, yes. I also had a lot of medkits left, so I don't know why I died there. Must have been that I didn't use them. This time, however, I'm actually using a lot more of the corners to try to keep myself alive. But it didn't really help, so might as well go ahead and use that. Alright. The door's over here to the left. Alright. Go ahead and use that and use some stimulants. So you want to use, let's see, I'd say alacrity, stamina, and strength. Then go over here and walk to the door behind Scion up here. Then press 5 and go ahead and fight Scion. Not that Scion, this Scion. Yes, we get double Scions here. It's kind of weird. Just don't talk to the second Scion, because then you'll be fighting 2 Scions. It's really confusing. Yes. Be sure to watch your health. Anytime he talks to you, just smash through it. Ooh, man. He's doing good. Oh, I need to reactivate my enlightenment. That'll take him out. That's a good question. Let's see. Let me make a save here. Core. Load the quick save. Then say outside. And then load the core, and I'll finish up the tutorial and then I'll check. Because that's a good question. I actually haven't tried that. Alright, so assuming that you killed Scion, just keep going inside the core. And we want a quick save past the Kreia cutscene, the start of this fight. So once you see, once again, that the game is not fading back from black, then you can go ahead and load. I missed it there, but anytime you talk to Kreia, it's like always hit 4 twice, and you'll finish the conversation entirely. What you want to do here is get right next to Treya, use Force Enlightenment, Battle Meditation, since it's not one of the force powers that are activated by Enlightenment. Use Hyper Battle Stimulant, and then the other hypers that you have. Heal up if you need to, quick save, and then talk to Treya and keep pressing 4. If you do it right, you'll talk to her twice. And that means that you'll skip the first phase of her fight. And then just finish her off. She'll do this to you, which is a real pain. Or she'll use Force Wave and knock you back. If you get into this position, you're almost hosed, so keep using med packs to try to keep yourself alive. If you're lucky, you'll get her in two hits. I stop the timer when Treya is defeated, which is just her health bar turns blue, or this cutscene, this dialogue pops up. So, if you just want to get to the main menu, hit 4 and 4. Actually, just 4 once, and there you are. That's the end of the game.